Hello all, welcome to CSCT Technologies. Today in this video we'll be learning about a complete module which is called a sketcher module used in CATIA. Now, CATIA is actually a 3D CAD modeling software. It's widely used in automotive as well as in your aerospace industries. Defense industries also use this for its generative shape design and automotive A-class surfacing, etc. Now, coming to the software, CATIA is computer aided three-dimensional interactive application. Again, I will repeat that for you. CATIA full form is computer aided three-dimensional interactive application. It is developed by Dassault Systems. SolidWorks also is developed by Dassault Systems. Now, the first time when you open the software, it will take some time to open, but once you start getting used to it, it will increase its speed and work fine. The minimum configurations required to install the software will be given in the description below. Please have a look into it before you install the software. Now, first, usually in any 3D CAD software, the first module which you will learn is a sketcher module. Sketcher module is nothing but it is 2D sketches using various commands, and you will learn how to constrain them. Again, constraints are of two types, dimensional and geometrical, which we will be looking into a little later. First, let us begin how to enter into the Sketcher workbench. As you can see on the screen, once you switch on the CATIA software, it will pretty much look like this. You can click on the start button, go back into mechanical design, and you have a Sketcher module. Now once you click on the Sketcher module, it enters into a separate workbench which has the name of the part, 3 different planes, and as you can see on the right side, the Sketcher tool will be activated. Whenever anything is in orange color in CATIA software, that means that the command is activated. You can see them in the command box as well, as you can see select a plane, planar or a face or a sketch. Now there are 3 planes. This one is the front view which is YZ, this is the top view which is XY, this is the right view which is ZX. You can also use different type of isometric views provided in the toolbar. This is called the views toolbar. It is under your view toolbar. Now, let me select any plane. For example, I'd like to work on the front plane, so I'm selecting YZ from here. Or if you do not want to do that, you can click on the sketch command and then select the plane from the workspace as well. You will be given the 0, 0 which is horizontal and vertical. The interference location is 0, 0. Now, inside your sketcher command, you will be working on few toolbars. The first toolbar is profile. The second toolbar is operations. The third toolbar is constraining. Let me hide them for you. Now, all these toolbars are linked to your sketch tools. Sketch tools will have properties of every single command you select from the toolbar. If you by any chance switch off the tool, you can go back into your view. Under that you have toolbars and you can simply click on sketch tools, which I have just switched it off. So once you click on it, it opens again. If you want to try that, you can. For example, I have a profile toolbar. I'm closing it. Again under view, toolbars, I'm selecting my profile toolbar. Now, at CSCT Technologies, usually we begin with profile first, give you some time to practice, and then go to operations, give you some time for practice, and then get back into constraining. So in the video also, let us proceed that way. Under your profile toolbar, the first one is actually called your profile. Profile is basically a combination of your lines and your arcs. You can use the right click to create the profile. So let me click on the right click first. It immediately starts the command. You can start from wherever you like in the workspace. I will explain the coordinates later. This is just for practice. You can start, keep clicking on the right Click, so it creates the profile for you. You can make it of any shape, there are no restrictions. If you want to exit the command, you can click on escape, it always exits the command. If not, you can create a simple closed profile and also exit the command. Now, I have told you that profile is a combination of arcs and lines. So if I only make a line, it will not help me. So I have another option under inside the sketch tools bar. The sketch toolbar also has an option which is called a 3-point arc. 3-point arc is an arc which is formed in between three different points. So you can just select it, give the first point, the second point and the third point, and it automatically converts back to its line again. As you can see, it's orange and highlighted, and then you can start making your profile. Escape again will exit the command. Now, while doing the profile command, after you start with a line, also you can convert it into an arc by simply clicking on the arc, tangent arc or the 3-point arc. I can click on the tangent arc, it creates a simple tangent arc, and then I can go down and continue with my profile. Or I can also click on a 3-point arc, select the first point which is already selected. I have a second point as well as a third point. And then I can simply again continue by making the profile. Again escape will exit the command. This is basically your profile. You can start with anything, you can create rectangles, you can create any sort of shapes. This is a faster way of doing it. Now, coming back to your rectangles, these are few predefined profiles which we already have. The first one is a simple rectangle. A property of a rectangle is where opposite sides are parallel to each other and non-opposite sides are perpendicular to each other. So you can select the first point and the end point and then create this sort of a rectangle. You can place the rectangle anywhere you like. It's not mandatory to start from where I have started. This will simply create a rectangle. Keep using the right clicks to do so. It creates a profile. Now, you also have something which is called a oriented rectangle. This is basically a rectangle which is formed in between three different points. So let us try to select three different points. I have the first point and then maybe second point somewhere over here, third point somewhere over here. This will give you the oriented rectangle. You also have parallelogram. If you want, you can create the parallelogram as well. Again, to create a parallelogram, we need 3 points in CATIA. So I have the first point, the second point and the third. Apart from these, we have slots. This is called an elongated hole and this is called a cylindrical elongated hole. A normal elongated hole is usually sketched by giving these centers. So let me try to do that. Assume this is the first center and this is my second center. The immediate next requirement is the arc. You can just move your mouse a little bit away from the line. It will help you create the arc. Now, the same way you also have cylindrical elongated hole wherein you have to select the center point of the arc, give the first point of the arc and the end point of the arc to create the cylindrical elongated. These lines are called your extension lines. They come up in the software at points. The reason why is if I'd like to make a line and try to coincide it on the circle, I need not go till here. I can just directly click on the circle or the extension point. It coincides on the center itself or the circle itself. There is another one which is called keyhole. A keyhole basically needs you to sketch the base first and then go and do the upper portion of the keyhole. So first let me select a point and give the length and give the arc for the base and then decide on the arc for the top part. Again, to do the keyhole, first let us give the base and then go to the top and then give the top portion. Now, if you want to create a hexagon is directly available for you. All you have to do is select the center point and give any direction. You can keep moving your mouse wherever you'd like. Any direction, any shape, anywhere you can give it. It creates the hexagon. This is my hexagon. Now, there are two other rectangles as well. This is called a centered rectangle and this is called a centered parallelogram. A centered rectangle requires a center and then we can decide the rectangle. It's very simple. You just have to select the center using the right click and create the rectangle. Whereas, if you want to create a centered parallelogram, centered parallelogram requires two predefined lines. So the intersection of those lines can be treated as the center for the parallelogram. Even if I click on the parallelogram, it will ask me select the first line. You can select H and V lines as well to create a parallelogram, or you can design your own lines. For example, I have a first line this way, I have a second line this way. These two intersect at a certain location. So when I select the centered parallelogram, select the first line, it asks you what is the second line. Select the second line, it auto selects the center and then gives you a parallelogram. These extension lines meet at a location which is this. From there it tries to create a parallelogram. Without doing predefined sketches or predefined lines, you cannot do a centered parallelogram. Please keep a note of this. Now, coming to your circles. Circles are pretty much very simple. You know they are defined by its diameter. So I can just simply select the circle. All I need to define is the center point and then select the end of the circle. You can just move your mouse, it does it. You can click on the right click, it creates a circle for you. Now, if you want to create a circle in between 3 points, you can use a 3-point circle. You can just give 3 different points. You can select anywhere in the workspace because we have not covered points yet. So you can randomly select, assume first point, the second point and the third point. It gives you the 3-point arc. Now, coming to the coordinate circle using coordinates. This requires H and V dimensions. If this is 0, 0, I can give dimensions as per the coordinate. By default, this is my 0, 0. I am giving H as 10 and V as 25, which is H is in this direction, V is in this direction. And the radius for my circle is 10. So once I say OK, it takes it this way. You can see that the H is in this direction, V is in this direction. The radius of my circle is 10. Not only this way, if you already have a point predefined and you do not want this to be your 0, 0, by any chance, if you do not want this point to be your 0, 0, pre-select your 0, 0 before clicking on the command and then click on circle using coordinates. It will consider this as a 0, 0 and start working from there. For instance, I want this to be 15 and radius to be 5. As you can see on the screen, it understands that this is my 0, 0 and it is not default selected. If you want to create a circle at an angle, in few sketches you might have seen that the circle usually starts at 30 degrees or 25 or 45, etc. In that condition, you can simply use circle using coordinates, give a polar tab, select the polar tab, give the radius. This radius will coincide with the center of your circle. For instance, again it's similar, it's pretty much close to 29 and angle I want is 30, which is the first example I have taken. So once I say OK, can you see the radii? This is the radii 30 and this is the angle 30. You can also use polar to do that. There is no issues. You can use anything whichever you are comfortable if you are using circle with circle using coordinates. Now, try tangent circle. Tritangent circle, as the name itself tells you what it does, it maintains tangency in between any three profiles. It can be lines, it can be arcs as well. I haven't told you arcs yet, I'm just showing this to you as an example. So tritangent circle, it will ask you to select with what do you want the first one to be tangent with, what do you want the second one to be tangent with, and the third one to be tangent with. It creates a circle. Now, the same goes with your arcs, circle to circle and circle to arcs as well. First, second, third, it maintains tangency and creates a circle. If you want to try it with the arc, you can. First, second and third, it tries to maintain tangency and creates a circle. It is maintaining tangency with the extension portion of your arc. Now, the last three are your simple arcs. They're very simple. They're 3-point arc, 3-point arc starting with limits, and a center point arc. A 3-point arc is very simple. You need to give 3 points in between which the arc is actually being formed. So I'll tell you how to do that. Select the first point, select the second point through which the arc will go through, select the third point. Again, select the first point, select the second point where the arc is going through. That means that the arc should pass through that point and the end point of the arc. If you are using 3-point arc starting with limits, then you need to give the end limits first. As in, I have to mention the first start point of the arc, I have to mention the end point of the arc, and then the point where the arc should pass through. I will repeat that for you. 3-point arc starting with limits. Give the end limits, the first limit, the second limit, and the point where the arc is supposed to pass through. Now, last one is actually called your arc, which is a center point arc, wherein we provide the center, the start point, and the end point of your arc. I will make this arc by using the 0, 0 as the center. So I'm selecting this as my center and then the start point of my arc and the end point of my arc. I can keep the end point anywhere I like. It creates the arc. This is your circle commands, circle toolbar. This is usually the first session of CATIA which we take here. We will give you some time to practice as well. You can join us for a little more advanced level of trainings wherein we give you a lot of shortcuts and how to save time doing your sketches, etc. We'll also give you the tool test within a certain time frame, so it might help you be a little more fast while making your sketches. We'll also show you how to constrain in the further sessions. This is the part 1 of the Sketcher tutorial. You can learn more by following us. You can click on the notification button so you can get notified whenever we post a video. If you like the video, please click on the like button. It will really boost us to post more tutorials like this. If you have any queries, we'll give you all the details in the description. Please go through with it and feel free to contact us. Now, before exiting, I'll show you how to come out of the workbench, that is your SketchUp. You can see a small icon here which is looks like a 90-degree rotated and exit sign. This is called an exit workbench. So when you click on it, it usually goes back outside. Any sketch you make will be visible inside. I have only told you a few commands, so I'm going to use only those. Once you exit, you can see the sketches outside. Now, whenever you see the sketch outside, a black dot indicates that the sketch is open, a white dot indicates that the sketch is closed. Let me try to make a closed sketch and show it to you. I am taking a small triangle. A closed sketch looks like this. An open sketch looks like this. You can use this as a way of identifying if you're working in your 3D modeling as well. Please do let us know if you need anything else. Thank you.